Hi people, hope you're doing well. I'm Hannah. Thanks for being here, whether you are new or OGs, I love you so much. Okay, this video is going to cover a lot of topics that are all about the same topic. And I don't know if it will make sense. It will make sense to the people who it makes sense for, okay? And unfortunately, the only reason why it makes sense for me is because I've been on the receiving end of this bullshit. So I just want to say, the thing that made me want to make this video is I've just noticed a trend, okay? A trend in the people that are being plucked off the streets for protesting for Palestine since this fake law that's been passed prescribing Palestine action, yeah. There's pensioners, okay? It's pensioners. And what do pensioners normally have? They at least have a house. You know, they at least have a house. If not, other assets. Okay? And for those of you that don't know, who haven't been following, I've been reporting just over time, just documenting evidence of the oddities that I've had to live through associated with being blackballed, not fully understanding how, why, who. I mean, the who bit, aside from it being 8200 unit shitheads from Chitrell demonic forces, I don't know who it is. Sorry, it's just seen the massivest butterfly ever. As big as a bird. Very beautiful. And anyway, aside from it being Chitrell demonic forces, the individual people who it is, I don't know who they are because they're cowards and they don't show their faces. I don't know who it is. What I do know how Israel operates. Chitrell, sorry. The real Israel is from the one in the holy books. This is not Israel, this thing that exists. This is Chitrell, okay? Because it is fake. It is fake because it is an economic project. It is not a safe haven for any religious group. It is an economic project to monopolize trade and monopolize everything, monopolize assets, monopolize everything, okay? Using Chitrell, this false construct that these Zionazis have constructed, Chitrell as guarantor, yeah, to steal everybody's assets. And they've been doing it for a long time. They've been doing it to Palestinians for decades, but they've had the audacity to start doing it everywhere else. They have been engineering collapse, okay? Engineering collapse, okay? This engineering disaster capitalism. The last disaster capitalism should only really be a thing. I mean, it's not wrong to you know, how do I word this? If there's a natural negative, I don't know how to word it, incident or situation that happens, and then, like, for example, okay, I have created artwork out of my adversity, okay? That is a form of disaster capitalism. That is natural. So I've created music, I've created poetry, I've created assets, generated assets. That, I have to reiterate and point out, these 8,200 shitheads have stolen my intellectual property, and they are capitalising off the assets that I've made from a disaster that they've engineered in my life, okay? That might be a lot for people to get their head around, but maybe listen to it back again, okay? That sort of thing where I'm turning a bad situation around and making something good, that is something of God. That's called transmutation, okay? It can be phrased disaster capitalism because it's commodifying situations and immortalizing them and making them so they're, bringing them out to market or whatever. But it's not just that, okay? It's not just that. These people have been engineering economic collapse. And I've experienced it firsthand because I've gone to financial services since the end of 2022, just to get business finance. Very simple. And I've been targeted. So I got it for a home improvement loan and for business finance, yeah. I've been targeted as a single female with an asset that they've just want to get out of the way so they can steal everything that I have. So they're trying to collapse me, they've hacked all my devices, made all these fake OnlyFans accounts, made me out to be a whore. They've done all sorts of things. I don't know exactly what has been done, but it's really bad because they've got me, my limited company, and they've got my brand, my brand that I put on all my videos. They are attached to several people or entities or things on the UK sanctions list. Me as a person, only 2. My limited company, I'll actually add it somewhere. I'll add that video somewhere, or maybe do it as a part 2 because it's actually quite long. It's actually quite long. But so they've attached when you put my limited company in the search, it comes up with 200-ish results. When you put my brand that I've put on all my videos, by HA, my logo that I hand drew once upon a time, maybe 2 years ago. When you type that in, comes up with it matches with half of the results. Half. There's 5,000 and something items on the UK sanctions list, and my brand matches with about half. And I've not even traded with any customers or anything because of being blackballed. So it's not me, but it's these shitheads from Unit 8200 that I've done the most to clone my phones, clone everything about me, set up clone all my accounts, clone all these things. And it's coming out now to like what the companies are. I've done a post about it earlier today. It's now coming out that Unit 8200 people have got VPN companies. So if you sign up with a VPN company to try to get away from being hacked by these people, all your data's still going to get collected. But there's no point in getting a VPN, because Unit 8200 people, if they want to target you, they will target you. Trust me, I know. I can't get rid of them. The law needs to remove them from my life. because these people don't have an off button. Shit raelies, psychopathy is not the disease classification for them. There needs to be another disease classification for these people. Needs to be another ICD-11, I think it is now, or DSM-5 code generated purely for the extreme level of psychopathy that shit raelies have, because it is not normal. These are terrorists that should not be allowed in our society. They should not be infiltrating civilian life and in all industries. How have they got access to UK government, all of the UK government systems? How? This is not normal. This cannot be seen as normal. We should not be sleepwalking into this level of infiltration. This infiltration has been deliberately targeting me to ruin my life. No, I'm getting all my intellectual property back. They are getting off my house, whoever these fuckers are, and I'm getting all the money that they've made while they've been preventing me from just starting my business and running it as normal. All the money that they've made by whatever this thing that's on my house, I've said it on other videos, that is mine and it's going to be mine. All the money that they've been robbing off, stealing all my data from social media and stealing all my work from YouTube and from Instagram, that is mine. And Zuckerfilth is going to give it to me and he's going to pay the damages for sharing my data. So is Google and YouTube. They are all going to have to pay. And the government is going to have to pay. And Apple is going to have to pay. Because this is not fucking normal. Every person responsible is going to prison. Even to the point of one click. Because they've decided to pick on me. And I'm not the right person if you want to get away with it. These people have been targeting pensioners just like I've been targeted and been made to be out to someone I'm not. They've now got this law to brand literally every working person, because these people that protest for, sorry, there's that massive butterfly. The people that protest, they're Labour people, staunch Labour supporters, historic Labour supporters. They're workers. They're from every industry. They're teachers, from every kind of, normal jobs. And they're targeting pensioners to rob their assets. Because that's what, when you brand someone a terrorist, in the terrorism laws, it says that the government will take your assets. They will take your assets. And that's what they want to do. They've been collapsing the economy on purpose. These people who've got international bank accounts, they're not even invested in this country. They've got international bank accounts, all linked to shit rail. And they're causing civil unrest and all of this in the country to collapse it all in readiness for Nigel Farage to take over, because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's going to collapse the economy even more. And then it's going to be Shitrel takeover 2035. They've been bragging it throughout the genocide. They've been bragging it online. These Shitraelis, they don't even care. They're sloppy. They're sloppy. They're so arrogant. They don't even care. Like, they don't care that everyone knows what the plan is. Like, it's obvious from what they've been doing to my people. They tell everyone what they're going to do. And nobody stops them. Nobody stops them. God's going to stop them, because no more. From a spiritual perspective, they're demons. They're demons who have accrued a lot of negative karma, a lot. And they are trying to sacrifice people to take on all the karma that they've accrued from all the demonic things that they've done in their life. That's why they keep killing innocent people. That's why they keep killing children. Because they need to pay the devil. They've got a debt to the devil that's... I don't know how big it is. But I know killing Palestinian people massive debts that they're never going to be able to pay. Never. These people, no soul, never going to get it back. Nothing that they're going to do to get it back. And basically, that's what they're trying to get us to pay for their karma. No. Same with the water companies. The water companies, they bust themselves doing evil shit. They ruin the country. How can you destroy water? Water! Purity! Purity. The feminine, the divine feminine. Heavy karma for that. Heavy karma for that. And they want us to pick up the tab. God is saying no. 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 There is laws about what bankrupt companies are worth. And those laws need to be followed. The assets need to be taken back. Or no more throwing money at dead money. And use the money that you would have thrown at dead money to actually rebuild the system. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. But it's the same people, these international investors. This is not investing. Confirmation, not investing. Investors who don't stick around, don't actually give back to the land, they don't live here, they don't have to suffer the consequences of all their abuse and the neglect. No. This country is not going to grow by gearing everything towards these people that are non-committal, don't live here. Get a channel, this is when I channel that my nose gets itchy. They don't give back. They don't give back to the country. They don't grow. And the government is basically shitting on people like me who, in the middle classes, trying to eradicate us instead of just enabling us, on our natural progression more forward. They're trying to, completely just move us out the way of our own lives and have us replaced by people that don't live here, don't contribute here, literally parasitic as fuck, destroying the place. And the people who've done that before under the Tories, they've all left to Dubai. So the people who are millionaires from doing all the fraud, they've gone now anyway. So they've gone to lose all the millionaires. They're eradicating all the middle class to make way for more people like them who are going to fuck off anyway because they've got no loyalties. And they're just literally, what they're going to do, make all the middle class families homeless. For what? How are you going to have any growth by people not being in houses and not being in jobs? Anyway, going back to the original point, pensioners, don't give up. Don't be a martyr. These shit-railies want everyone to be a martyr for them. No, it's the end of the line now. Don't be a martyr. You're not going to prison for 14 years. This law is a fake law anyway, and it needs to be revoked. Don't give up your assets. It's not lawful for them to be taken off you anyway for these fake allegations. The real terrorists are the shit-railies, and they need to be removed from access to every system. They're in the government systems, they're in the banking systems, they're in every single industry. They're in Apple, they're in Microsoft, they're in Meta, they're in Google. They're in everything. They're in everything. And we need to stand up and say, no, we do not want Chitrel demonic forces infiltrating civilian life. They are a danger. They belong in prison. Look what they've done to me. Me, a loner, like a solitary creative, introverted person who keeps myself to myself and just does my art in my own space. They've turned me into a whore using AI and hacking all my devices, surveying me through my own devices, through my phones. And you think they're not going to go to prison for that? The fucking perverts are going to prison for a very long time because all the crimes they've done to me and having me not making any money for years, having all of my everything stopped, treating me like I'm a criminal because of racism, because all of a sudden in summer 2021, they decided that I should be watched like a terrorist. All because I decided to post my work online. If I was not online and I was still carrying on doing my work, my poetry and stuff in my own time and my own space, like I have done since I was a child, I would never have any of these issues. And this needs to be raised, that going online is putting people in danger. If I just went back to the 90s where I wasn't on the internet and there was no online presence of me whatsoever, and I was just doing my art in the my own little world and in the safety of just the creation that it is, no bother. But these people can find you with anything now, with through your phone. This is not normal. I do not want these perverts have anything to do with me. Nobody has this much access to me. Who do these fuckers think they are? They belong in prison. What they've done is horrific. They can't just illegally survey people, stalk with drones, with everything. They're out there every day, every night. I mean, you're going to put the sound of the plane from last night. It's literally like practically right next to the window. Why are they sending military aircrafts right that close to people's houses, flying that low? In residential areas all the time. This is not military areas, these are civilian areas. With kids, with families. What sort of radiation are they emitting into the atmosphere from those drones every day for more than a year? There's kids everywhere, families everywhere where I live, everywhere. And people are just going to think, oh, it's just the evolution of tech. It is not the evolution of tech. It is them and their paranoia and their terrorist attitudes, their psychopathy, Raeli's special psychopathy, I don't know what else to call it, that they want to just make normal for us. It is not normal. This is not the new world. The new world doesn't involve that. That needs to be gone. If they want to live like that, they can have the whole of Mars, and Elon will take them via private shuttle. They can get a rocket to Mars, build their whole wet dream of civilization began with them 2,000 years ago, or whatever the fuck it was, 3,000 years ago. Civilization all began with them, and Abraham this, Abraham that, Abraham. Go and do that wet dream on Mars all by themselves, and they can colonize Mars, do all the mortgage fraud, all the investment fraud, every single fraud they want over there, and leave us to it. We all know on this earth that the dinosaurs existed millions of years ago, way before Abraham. We all know that the Aboriginals existed at least 50,000 years ago. We all know that all humans came from Africans hundreds of thousands of years ago. These Abraham fakers can just go to Mars via private shuttle. Elon will take them and happily live with them because he's crazy like them. And we can all live here free of all this infiltration and all of this invasion. It is disgusting. The middle classes will not be robbed. We will not. Everyone everyone who is being threatened because of this fake collapse, yeah? Don't move. Just don't move. Stay and don't move. It's all by design. It's all fake. It's all this disaster capitalism. Let these people make you look like you're an economic failure. So these rescuers, these saviors can come in and take everything over and then just tinker around things and then sell things off at a profit and leave the people without the take the ecosystems away from the people. No. You don't know what's led people to those places. You don't know what ties people have or anything like that. And you can't, no metrics or no system or anything is that doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. None of that works. The only thing that works is divine will and aligning your free will with divine will. If you try to compromise people's free will, working in the opposite direction to divine will, well, that's on you then. That's on your head. God is going to bring you justice like a train running into you. That is what's going to happen. Just watch. Just watch. Anyone who's being accused of terrorism, that is not a terrorist, they're just standing up for human rights. Don't let these shitheads take your assets away. Don't do it. Don't be a martyr. We are not here to be martyrs. We are not. There is no glory in that. We are not here to be martyrs. We are here to be ourselves and live authentically to ourselves and live on our own trajectory authentically. That is what we are here to do. Okay? That is the end of this video. And yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share this video so it gets to more people. And yeah, comment down below. I'm heavily blackballed. There's ways to support me financially in the about section. What else? Yeah, that's all really. That's all. I'm going to go and watch that massive butterfly out my window now. See you in the next video. Love yous. Bye. Hi people. One thing I forgot to say in the other video is that, in case people didn't realise, Shitrel does a lot of mortgage fraud and a lot of investment fraud, okay? A lot. That's how the whole economy exists. Fraud. They've got fraud. All their businesses are frauds. All the money that they raise is from fraud. They raise a lot of money from fraud by setting up false charities and false community interest companies in other countries and raising funds and then funneling it to Shitrel, okay? But what they do is basically what they've done to me. This is how I've come to realise this is what they've done to me. There's people leveraging my asset. I said it on all the videos, leveraging my asset for all sorts of things. I don't know what they're using it for, what they're trading in, who's behind it, anything like that. But basically, that's what's been happening to Palestinians for decades. Shitralis have been leveraging assets, i.e. land, that they do not even own. They don't have the deeds for it. They've stolen it. They don't have the deeds for it. They've leveraging land. They, as a guarantor, like I said in the previous video, Shitrel is a guarantor for them. But they don't have legally, they don't have the deeds. They're not the owners of the land. The Palestinians are. And they've put themselves through fake paperwork. They leverage money. They generate money from fake paperwork off assets that they don't own, and by killing people. And basically, this is why they want to move everyone out of Palestine, because they've got all of these fake investments. You can see that their stock exchange is never down. It's always up because they're always leveraging more than ever as well. Remember, there's more people homeless than ever in Palestine, ever. Pretty much the whole population is homeless now. Because they're uprooting more people in the West Bank, and obviously everyone's homeless in Gaza. And where am I going with this? Oh yeah, so they've got all these mortgage frauds, all these investment frauds on all of this land that they don't own. And nobody signed any of these finance deals. No Palestinians signed off these finance deals that they've been doing on their land. Nobody has. Just like confirmation, just like I've not signed for whoever this beneficiary is on the deeds to my house here in the UK. I don't know who that fucker is. No Palestinian knows what finance has been leveraged on their land. But that's what they've been doing. That's why they want to get rid of UNRWA, because it means there's no refugee status. And so people can't go back. And that's why they want to remove everyone off the land. And then they can be fully squatters and say that there's no owners there. But there is. And there's descendants of the owners, like me. They're trying to get rid of all the inheritance lines and to take it over. And they've already been doing trade. They've already got fake businesses attached to it. They've got all sorts of things that is not theirs. All these fake businesses, all of this fraud that they've been doing, all these fake tech companies don't belong to them. They belong to us. They belong to us. Anything leveraged off our assets without our consent and permission is ours. And that's why Shitrail is fake. And that's why Shitrail is finished. Because we are still here. We are not dead. We are not dead. They keep waiting for us to die. All of these people in the West who've got all the waiting to cash out on all of this death, they're not going to cash out. They're going to pay us for the damage that they've done to our life. And that is why Shitrail is finished. Shitrail hasn't got the money for that, but they're going to have to find it. They got, just like all of the Holocaust victims from World War II got, some of them are still seeking reparations now, however many years on from now, 80 years later. So this is what's going to happen for us. Because this is what they did. This is the path that they chose. This is what they chose to go down. They didn't do things the right way. My family's land in Gaza is my family's land. Belongs to me and all my cousins and all of my cousins' children and all of my family, just like every other Palestinian. It's ours. And they are going to have to pay us to rebuild our houses that they destroyed for no reason. For no reason. People need to understand this. Nobody speaks, nobody's cottoned on to this. But the Palestinian resistance had intelligence. They had intelligence about what Shitrael is planning to do to Al-Aqsa Mosque. That's why the operation was called Al-Aqsa Flood of October 7th. It's called Al-Aqsa Flood, okay? And people can go and see now. They've got tunnels and stuff doing all sorts of shit under Al-Aqsa Mosque. And in international law, if you have intelligence that you are under threat by an enemy, just like what America's trying to claim as to why it's attacked Iran, as Shitrael, trying to claim the reason why they attacked Iran, they said it was preemptive. There's no such thing as preemptive. The only way preemptive attacks are preemptive is if you have evidence and intelligence, which the resistance has. The resistance has it, of all of what the Shitrael is doing to Al-Aqsa and all these settlements and everything like that. They have it. So any terrorist attack or anything that they're trying to accuse the resistance of, in international law, it is self-defense. It is self-defense to attack from those premises, from that premise. B, the resistance wanted to exchange hostages from the first day, and there's loads of evidence for that. But Shitrael has planned this. Look how long they've been terrorising me for, trying to get my asset from 2021. This is long-term plans from Shitrael's side. Long-term plans from Shitrael's side to get us out of the way and take everything. This is not something... They just needed an excuse to execute the plan that they had in waiting. And that they did Hannibal on all of their own people on October the 7th to do it. And this needs to be investigated. The ICJ has only attached their their allegations from October 8th onwards. No, it needs to include October 7th because Shitrael committed war crimes on their own people to start the genocide. So it needs to include October 7th from what Shitrael did, the Hannibal. The resistance did not kill all of those people. A lot of them were killed from the tanks and from the quadcopters from the sky. The resistance don't have quadcopters and tanks. Come on now. Look at the damage. It's not even that hard to look at the damage that has happened in the Kibbutzim. And look in Gaza and see it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. The resistance have never had weapons like that. They never will have weapons like that until they have a full country and they're able to build a proper army like everyone else. Like, it's really, really obvious. And this needs to be said and talked about in the scopes of international law. Because it's written in international law that it's self-defense if you have intelligence, and that's why they called it Al-Aqsa Flood, and that's why they targeted Shitrael to do hostage exchange, because they've got 10,000 people in the prisons, with many of them without any just like the people are held in the Filton 23 now. They're held without they're just held in remand endlessly, no end in sight. That's what Chitrell does to people for years and years and years. Just like that, you know, the resistance, the communist guy that's just been released from French prison, George Abdallah, who's held for no reason. No reason. The courts ordered him to be released many, many times over the 4 decades that he was in prison, and France didn't do what the court told them to do. So now the Chitrell precedent, the Zionist precedent, is that courts don't matter. No, this is not something we should be agreeing to. This is not something we... I can guarantee you, any law that was written without the interference of the internet and all of this bullshit will still be relevant. Because most laws are written from a universal and aligned perspective. Most laws are. The laws that are coming in now, they're to perpetuate this treason and treachery and this fake, stop this fake economic project from meeting its end. The seed was planted 108 years ago. It's the end of the cycle. This is how the world, this is how the universe works. Big cycles close. And when big cycles close, it's not always pretty. It's not always pretty. Channeling again. But yeah, this needs to be said. This needs to be said. Chitrell has been doing the most amount of fraud through this genocide, mortgage fraud, investment fraud, all off land and assets they do not own. They do not own, and they were doing it before they even got the people off the land. That's how arrogant they are. That's how arrogant they are. And it's failed. Nobody's cashing in on shit. Nobody is cashing in on shit. I will tell you that for nothing. You spill all my people's blood for nothing. Kullu al-fadi. Kullu al-fadi. For nothing, okay? For nothing. Everyone responsible is going to prison, like what happens to war criminals.